Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. You know, summertime is here, and I've been getting a lot more requests for my dear friend Riley to have some summertime wardrobe. Well, I've come up with a bathing suit, a cute little beach bag, and a visor. And so I'm going to do a new series on beach clothes for Riley. And I'm going to first start with her bathing suit. I'm going to teach you how to make her bathing suit right now. So for this project, you are going to need my downloadable pattern, and it actually comes in two pieces. This is the front, and these are the sides. You're going to need two sides. And then, unfortunately, the paper is not quite big enough to take the entire pattern, so you'll see it says swimsuit front bottom. You're going to need to add that to this piece over here, and I'll show you how that works in just a second. So you are going to need this pattern, this downloadable pattern. You're going to need your duct tape. You're going to need a marker, and you're going to need an X-Acto knife. Be very careful with this X-Acto knife, of course. You're going to need a cutting surface. You're going to need scissors. I'm going to be using some Scotch tape to put my pattern together. And one thing that you're really going to need that's very important is Velcro. And this is sticky-sided, double-backed Velcro. So it's sticky on both sides, and your Velcro, you have two different sides. You've got the loop side, and then you've got the rubbery, sticky side. So you're going to need that. Now, I've made my fabric ahead of time here, and you're going to need two pieces. One piece is 6 by 13. The other is 8 by 9. So 6 by 13 piece of fabric and an 8 by 9 fabric. In this case, I've made mine with a tarp back, and the reason I did that is because it's a little bit more flexible than doing just all duct tape fabric. But if you are a duct tape purist, please feel free to make duct tape fabric sheets. And again, you've got 8 by 9, 6 by 13. So the first thing you're going to want to do is cut these pattern pieces out. And you'll notice that the visor brim is on here. I just wanted to save paper space for you guys. So don't worry about that right now. Just disregard that. So you're going to cut out all three pieces. 1, 2, 3. And I've already done that here. So I've got 1, 2, and 3. And this is where we need to just lengthen this piece a little tiny bit. So what we're going to do is just line this edge up with this edge. I mean, as you can see, it's only a few inches. But we're just going to line that edge up, and with a little bit of Scotch tape here. Scotch tape it here, and Scotch tape it on the back. Here you can see it's just about an inch. So if you wanted to, if you had bigger paper, you could just elongate that a little bit if you wanted to and not have to do the second piece. But that makes your pattern as big as it needs to be. So just so you know and understand how your pattern works, this piece is your leg piece. This piece is your leg piece. So when we're putting these pieces together, just remember that this is always going to be the leg piece. We're going to put one piece like this and one piece like this. Now let's cut our fabric. So the first thing that I want to do is take my big piece of fabric and lay my suit on it. And then what I want to do is trace the pattern onto here. And I'm going to be using a dry erase marker so that it washes right off. And I'm just going to trace around the entire thing so that when I remove it, you can see the pattern that needs to be cut out. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my second piece. Now this is very important. You need two pieces here, and one piece is going to go this way. The other piece is going to go this way. It's very, very important. So lay your first piece down. I like to do it on the edge here. So lay your first piece down, trace around. Now, really important, flip it over. Okay, so now I've got this edge on this side. Now, if you want to, you can do it right here. It's fine. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. But the main thing is make sure that you've got pieces going opposite each other. Okay, so take one side, then flip it over, then trace it. Now you want to cut out these pieces. Now I've already cut my pieces ahead of time here just to save a little time. And here they are. So I have my body piece, and then I have my 2 side pieces. And you can see how these would be right there like that. Now I'm going to be using this chevron pattern here to be sealing up my sides and to embellish. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut these pieces ahead of time. And this is why I need my X-Acto knife. So I'm going to just take a couple pieces of tape and just line them up on here. Because what I really want to make is nice, smooth, cut pieces. And I'm actually going to need a ruler for this. And I forgot to tell you, you're going to need a ruler. So please grab a ruler. So I'm going to cut those raggy-taggy edges. Cut these raggy-taggy edges. And what I want to do on one piece here is cut it right down the middle so that I get nice, long line right down the middle. So see, I've got a nice, get rid of that edge, nice long piece that's nice and thin, and I've got a second piece that's nice and thin. Now these other pieces, what I want to do is I actually want to make these really thin, and I'm actually going to cut them so that they are just 1 square, which is basically 1/4 inch wide. These are going to be for embellishing my bathing suit. And so I just hold this down, line those little squares up on either side there, and make a couple strips of this. That should be enough. Okay. All right, it's time to put the bathing suit together. So the first thing I'm going to do is lay out my pieces. Now, for some reason, I think the mind thinks that it wants to go this way. It doesn't. It wants to go with the little arrow point facing up. So arrow point on one side, arrow point on the other side. See that? Arrow point here, arrow point there. And then what you want to do is take one of those pieces of tape that we cut into half, and you just want to lay it right on top. So see, I'm going to seal these 2 together right there, like that. And I'm just going to rip this piece off here, like that. And we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. I'm going to lay this, and I've got a little overlap there. I'm going to overlap a little teeny bit at the end there, and that doesn't matter. Don't worry about that. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to come back with another piece. And I'm just going to seal it from the back. And don't worry about these, because I'm just going to trim that with a pair of scissors, and it'll be nice and smooth. So see that? Just come back, seal that. And now I'm going to come back with a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to follow along this line here. And that'll also make sure that it's nice and trim. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Just follow along that line there and cut that nice and smooth. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Follow along that line. This is going to be where it's going to go up and under her arm. And come on over here. And this is going to go up and over her leg. Okay. So there you go. That is basically your bathing suit. And the way that we're going to have to now seal it is with Velcro. So at this point in time, if I want to embellish it, I certainly can. And what I'm going to do here is put a strip right across the middle. Let's see if I can pull this up over here. Be sort of like a waisty right across the middle here. One thing about the way that these dolls are made, they don't really lend themselves to wearing bikinis. However, if you wanted to make a bikini, you could do so with this pattern. Just see where this line is that I just put here for her waist. Just cut there. But first practice with a regular swimsuit. Okay, I'm going to take a nice long strip like this and just give it a little rip. Boop. And nice long strip like this down the. This is the fun part because you can really embellish any way that you would like to. And I'm going to take another one of those thin strips that I cut ahead of time. You can see why it's nice to have these strips cut ahead of time for you. And I'm just going to come right to the center there. And then over on the other side, right to the center there. There, got a nice little embellishment going. And if I've got a little extra here that came off, I can just pull that up with my X-Acto knife. Just be very careful. And then cut that extra bit off with the scissors. So it's nice and smooth. For the Velcro, we're going to put a piece here and a piece here. These don't have to be very big. They can be smallish tabs. Now that's a little too wide, so what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to cut this off, just right there. Peel the back of one side, place it at the top. Peel the back of one side. I'm going to try to make sure that they match. So let's see, I've got the plasticky part. Fuzzy side is up. Plasticky part. Okay, so I'm going to put that side there. Okay, just like that. That is for sealing the straps around her. Now I'm also going to need, flip this over, and the back is going to seal like this. And see how these two pieces kind of line up with each other? That's where your Velcro is going to go. So what I want to do is I want to put my Velcro strip right along here. And I'm going to use a long, thin strip of Velcro. Usually your Velcro comes like this. It's about this thick. I slid it right down the middle. So I'm just going to take this piece here, and I'm going to lay it right along the top and the edge there. Okay, now we need our doll. And we're going to put Riley face down here. Sorry, Riley. So that we can bring these straps up and over and these pieces up and over. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull this around here like this and this around here like this so that I can seal this back tight to her body. So I'm just going to peel off this edge of Velcro. Peel that off. Make sure this is nice and tight about her body. And seal that. Now, I want to put a little tab, not a big one, but a little tab of Velcro. So those little pieces, remember, that I cut from the straps, these are perfect. There we go. Just take that little one here and put it right here. And this one right here. Velcro is great for holding together doll clothes. So I'm just going to put that like that. So see, then that just pulls apart like that. And that holds those pieces together there. Now Riley's straps are going to come right here and tuck underneath. So what I'm going to do is just take this piece off here and slip it under. Make sure it's nice and tight. Do the same on this side. She's almost done. She's almost ready for the catwalk or the beach. There we go. All right, now the last thing to do. She's looking pretty cute there. Last thing to do is to secure the bottom pieces here. So I'm going to put a piece of Velcro here and a piece of Velcro on here. And what I really want to do is make sure that this seals in the back here. So this is going to get a strip of Velcro right here. Put it at the tip, at the very edge here, so that it seals as far back as possible. So I fold this down and I seal it all the way under there. And now Riley's bathing suit is perfect. And there you have it. Riley is ready to hit the waves. Now remember, you can embellish your bathing suit any way you want. You could even make an entire line of bathing suits. For more fabulous fashion wear for the beach, come and check us out at Sophie-World.com. You want to go surfing? Sounds like fun.